Hello, Leon here from backintelligence.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about how to release and stretch your lats, okay, or latissimus dorsi is what it's called. It is the biggest muscle of the back. It runs on both of the sides here. So let me just show you real quick where it runs and why you should release it and why it causes pain for a lot of people. So first of all, this muscle is starting from where the pelvis is and goes all the way up, right where underneath your shoulder blade, and then it also attaches into your arm. And it does this on both sides. So imagine that muscle coming up again from your pelvis all the way up, right where your shoulder blade is ending, and then it also attaches into your arm. Now, this muscle gets very tight and overactive on many people, especially people who are very active or who do a lot of sports. This muscle is responsible for things like extension, so doing this kind of motion with your arm, also for internal rotation, as well as bringing the arm into the body, okay? So imagine, like swimming or things, or pulling things like this. If you're doing that in your daily activities, or you're doing some kind of sports that require that kind of movement, that's going to get these lats to be really tight. And what happens when the lats get tight? Well, they cause a lot of times pain, and it's trigger point pain. So you get very tight trigger points, usually right underneath the shoulder blade or on the side of the shoulder blade here. That's your lat muscle right there. Yeah. So it gets really painful trigger points, and some people say, I have upper back pain. Well, that's part of your lats probably having pain, okay? So you need to release and stretch them. The other thing that happens when your lats are too tight is it can cause what is called anterior pelvic tilt. So imagine the muscle get tight, it can also pull your pelvis this way, yes, and create this low arched back, okay, which is a bad posture. So again, releasing the lats is going to get you to be able to come back into that neutral posture alignment that we want. Okay, so we don't want the anterior pelvic tilt. In case you're confused, we don't want the butt to stick out. We want to come back to neutral. And again, tight lats is one of the things that contributing to that anterior pelvic tilt posture. Okay. Lastly, another thing that happens when your lats are too tight is you'll have an issue to raise your arm up over your head, okay? Because that muscle is too tight, it won't allow you to. So if you can only get your hand up this high, maybe your lats are too tight and they need to be stretched out. And that can cause many issues. It can cause faulty patterns of movement. So, if you're reaching up to the cupboard and you can't raise the arm up, what are you going to do? Maybe you're going to start doing these kinds of things, and that's going to affect you, your posture in a whole other way, and cause pain somewhere else, and cause back pain that you didn't want, because now you have to do this kind of a twisting motion just to reach for that whatever you're reaching for, because you don't have the range of motion. So again, this muscle tends to be overactive on many people and can cause a lot of postural issues. So that's why I'm going to show you here some of my favorite ways of releasing and stretching this muscle. So it's recommended that you first do some self-massage to that muscle, and I'm going to show you right now with how to do it with the foam roller, and then I'm also going to show you 2 ways of how you can stretch this muscle. So let's get started. All right, so the first way is foam rolling it. So what you're going to do, so it runs here once again. So what you're going to do is using a foam roller or a massage ball as well, what you want to do is just kind of go on the side like this and try to find a painful area. So what you want to do is kind of roll around and see if you can find a spot that feels really tight or is very tender and you feel like it needs a massage. So I found one right here. Once you find it, you just want to rest on it and kind of hold on that point, because it takes time for the trigger point to release. Okay, so at least 30 to 60 seconds, hold on the tight spot. Okay, so you want to hold it like this and just breathe, and hang out. And after you did that, move on to the next spot. So again, right around the shoulder blade and the side of it, you can feel some tight areas. So I'm going to roll around, and then also you can kind of angle yourself slightly back to see if you can find another area, in a different area there. And then again, once you find it, hold it 30 to 60 seconds on that spot so that you can let it release, okay? One of the biggest misconceptions with foam rolling and massage balls is that you need to continuously roll onto it. That's not what you want to do, okay? You actually, once you find that tight spot, you want to stop and hold it for at least 30 to 60 seconds on that spot. You don't want to continuously roll up and down the foam roller, okay? That's not recommended at all. So right after you did the foam rolling and you release some of those tight knots, we can go into the stretching. So the first stretch I'm going to show you using this bench. Now, it doesn't have to be this. It can be anything that doesn't move, okay? So if you have a kitchen cabinet or a table or something like that, ideally you don't want it to move, and then you can use it to stretch. So let me show you this one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my arm right over here, and I'm going to now kind of stretch away from that. So I'm going to bring my hips back away from that. And I'm also going to kind of tilt my pelvis under, okay? So you don't want to stick your butt out. You want to bring it in, actually, okay? And then you're going to now stretch away from that point, away from the, in my case, a bench. And what I do also, I'm tilting slightly to get more stretch over here. So right now I'm only stretching this side, and I can tilt slightly this way with my hips to get even more of a stretch. And you want to hold it for about 30 seconds, 30, 60 seconds, and then switch to the other side. Now I'm going to target the other side of the lats. Again, same idea. I'm going to pull away here. And again, I can tilt my hips. Now I'm going to tilt my hips slightly towards the camera so I can get even more of a stretch on my right side. And again, you want to hold for about 30, 60 seconds. You can do about 2-3 sets. So another way you can stretch the lats is by doing a very common stretch called child's pose. Okay, so just on its own, oh, it feels so good. I love the child's pose. Just on its own, it feels, it already stretches both sides of the lats. Okay, so if you just do this, this is quite good already. You just want to relax and kind of sink into your hips. Try to keep both arms in front of you straight, and as you melt away from the arms, and you want to, again, feel it over on the sides over here, yeah, on both sides. So that's a way to start, but from there, what you can do is actually tilt your body slightly to one side to trigger the one side of the lat more. So what you can do from here, I can now kind of place my right arm on my left and kind of go away from it. So now I'm leaning to my left hip. Hopefully you can see that. So now I'm angling slightly more, tucking the pelvis in. And that's going to be really targeting this left side of the lat. Hold it for 30, 60 seconds, and then let's do the other side. So same idea here. Now I'm going to place my left arm on top of my right arm to kind of just hold it in place. And I'm going to lean my body to the right now more, into my right hip. Again, I'm going away from the hands, into my hip, and slightly angling to my right side now. And you should feel it more here now, okay? This is just a deeper stretch than just the regular child pose for both sides. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed these stretches and the foam rolling that I showed in the beginning to help you release your tight lats. Again, this muscle is very important to stretch out and release so that you can improve your posture. And if you want to get more tips on how to improve your posture and get rid of back pain, please visit our website at backintelligence.com. We have a lot of courses there that are designed specifically to get rid of back pain. Also, I'd love to send you my 3 days to a better posture video series. There's going to be a link somewhere on the video, or there's going to be a link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. You can get that right away in your email, and I'm going to give you really specific and practical posture tips that you can start implementing right away. All right, see you next time.